Episode 16, Keeper of the Morgue. We've got Matt McClure, Stephen Hoshaw.
What's up? Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, is that actually how you pronounce it? Hoshaw?
You actually are probably like one of like 3 people in my life that have gotten it right.
How have you heard it say?
Hoshaw.
Hoshaw?
Hoshaw. I think people are afraid to say ho.
They
That
are
could be it.
100%.
I think that's what it is.
I'm going to call you Matty Mick from now on. Matty Mick, that's pretty dope.
That or Matty
McClure.
Ice.
Matty Ice, that's been used. Yeah, Atlanta Falcons quarterback. I
Oh.
call him Matty Ice.
I was thinking more of like Natty Ice. Matty Ice.
When I think of it like Scottish, like Matthew McClure or something like that. I
I'm
can't
a
do
juicy
it.
contradiction.
Yeah, I did not. When I heard Matt
McClure.
McClure, I'm like, that's totally a white guy who works in the law office. Not
I mean,
not a
that's-
jammy guitarist who plays. Do you play 8 strings?
8 strings, yep.
In with no neck,
No headstock.
no
We're
headstock.
on that Stramberg life.
I know Brandon Rodriguez is telling me about how you got him and Michael onto that.
Yeah, I got into it. I first saw Aaron Marshall from Intervals at the Bourbon Theater, and I was like, what the heck is that? And then my buddy, now my roommate, Jordan Rush from Animus, he like lives by those things. And he let me play it for a little bit. And at first, the neck is really weird. And I was like, what the heck is this? And I was like, there's no way I'm going to like this. It's too alien. And then,
Now you're addicted.
yeah, it's the only guitar I want to play.
He got me hooked on it too, honestly.
I'm going to
I
say,
said the same thing. I was like, I don't really know. It feels weird. It's at first I thought like the center of gravity would be off.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's just not.
It doesn't feel like weight. The weight doesn't feel weird.
Not at
It's
light.
perfectly balanced.
Really?
It's perfectly balanced, but it feels lighter than air when you're playing it. I had a Schecter. Future lower
the thing
back
was like,
problems.
yeah, that thing was like 13 pounds. I will add too, the other guy that really got me into him was Jace Kryjek. I think I'm saying it right.
Jeez. Oh
From
yeah.
Soselo.
Yep, I know that name. For
He's
sure.
got so many of them, and yeah, every time I go over, he let me play one of his high-end ones. I was like, God, I really have to have
Gotta
one now.
have one. How much
Always.
was this run?
Mine was a cheapie, so it was only like $1,200.
Oh yeah, it's cheap.
Was that the guy that Jace guy? Was that the guy we were going to record with initially?
He was the one, yeah, at one point, but I don't know if he likes doing full bands.
I know. I was wondering if it was that guy that had like 40 guitars in his room.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That guy.
Yes.
But
But
yeah,
they are expensive. I like them though.
His was closer to 1,800 to 2,000, and then Jace has a custom, which is upward to 3,000 plus.
Right, this guy's made of money apparently. $3,000.
Dude, his basement is like the
Loaded with
guitar
guitars.
vault.
Actually, more than that, it's like a whole studio. Like, everything's beautiful. Nothing's out of place.
He's got Dragon Ball Z action figures in there too. I love it.
light and everything. Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah, the first time I ever seen one without a head, it was Muse. The guitarist from Muse, and I can remember watching these YouTube videos like 2009, 2010. They were playing in Wembley, and this guy has a white guitar, no headstock, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then my initial thought was like, how the hell do you tune that thing? And then the tuning is behind.
Yeah. Don't get us wrong. I had to look up just how to tune the thing when I first got it because Jace wasn't around, and so I was like, I don't know how to do anything on this.
Yep.
Lord forbid I break a string and have to change it out.
A lot of YouTube videos for me because I wanted to try and like intonate it and everything.
Right. And is that all you guys have used with Keeper of the Morgue? Is those types of guitars?
We like to switch on and off, so
Yeah.
we have the higher end ones, but we also have the first 8 string I ever had is a RG8, Ibanez RG8, just like the cheapest 8 string they have.
Basic.
And so I always like playing that 'cause it's just fun playing like what I first got into on 8 string.
Right. I think that's how I'm going to feel when I actually get a normal drum set because I have an electronic. But I'm going to like go back to the electronic so often and be like, I miss you so much. I've had so many good times. And this is the same thing. That's how I like learned to play drums is on the electronic one. And that was such an impulse buy for me. Basically, I quit my job at Berkshire. I ended up quitting. I got my like severance pay. I got like $3,000.
Oh.
Right? I got like $3,000 out of it. I'm
Bought a
like,
drum set.
so Jeff, so Jeff and I, we go over to Guitar Center, and he's like, "Yeah, you should get this one. You should get this one." He's like looking at the Roland $5,000 one, and I'm like, "I cannot pay $5,000.
Yeah.
Like if you expect me to pay bills, I cannot
Yeah.
pay for this." And then I'm looking at this one that's like 1,000, and he's like, "Oh, you actually want this one?" He finally talked me into getting like the one that's 1,200, and then after like the warranty and everything and replacement is like $1,600. So there went my whole severance, like paycheck went to my drum set. But
I see you getting it on there.
It's worth it. How much
Yeah.
you use the thing.
yeah, if I didn't have the drum set, I don't know what I'd do because I don't have a TV. I always tell the people this. I'm like a homeless person living in my place. I don't know why I pay rent. I could bum anywhere and just be fine with it as long as I have my cat, my drum set. Cool.
Yeah, that's anywhere then. Yeah.
Yeah. Stage or military bases.
You don't want to go there.
Okay, you're right.
You
What do you say?
No, we both are service. You're part time and I'm full time. You don't
Good
wanna
old
live- you don't
nasty
wanna live
girl
on-
right here.
Yeah, you don't want to live on base.
Are you in?
National Guard.
Oh, dang, I was going to say Air Force. I guess I never asked you about this. I've seen the pictures.
They're just funny pictures because I just remember how much I hated my life in some of those pictures. The good stories and bad, but usually we would try force a smile on like really shitty days, and then it would just remind me. It's like, oh yeah, I remember exactly what was going on.
This might be a silly question. Did you guys have like a rec hall where you could play guitar and such? No?
I tried sneaking in a guitar at AIT, which is like your training for whatever job you do in the military, at least for the Army. I took my dress uniform, not the combat one, but the dress uniform, and put cardboard in it so it looked like it had the dress uniform in it, and I snuck a guitar in.
Oh.
But then I had to leave it there because there was no way for me to sneak it out to the airplane.
Sad.
For me, I deployed out to the desert, and I worked in rec. So like all the special forces guys would come back to our area to relax after killing people and stuff like that.
They're just like, yeah,
Yeah.
I had a long day.
But I was in charge of a music room, so we actually did have a couple. I mean, they weren't great pieces of equipment, but they served the purpose, and I got to play around with like a little older Black Star amp and some Gibson that was just like ratty as hell. Like it wasn't, it wasn't good at all.
So this might sound like a dumb question. You guys probably didn't meet in the military, or you guys met after the military, before?
After, so
Yeah, I'm still in like full time, but yeah, I moved out here because my son.
Let's say, where are you originally from? Anywhere?
My dad was in the military for 24 years, and we were both in service at the same time for like 2 months,
Dang.
and then he retired. But I mean, I've been.
You guys are the Ken Griffey's in the military.
Yeah, my grandfather was in too, so yeah, it's a turning into a generation.
I don't have a reference for that one.
but
Ken Griffey, senior.
But I lived
Senior.
in I was just recently stationed in Cheyenne, and it was nothing to do out
Boring
there.
as shit.
But my son was born with an issue, and he ended up being the reason why I moved out here.
Gotcha.
And so, like, how we met was after like a 2-year drought of me not playing music. I just took a break, but there wasn't really anything going on in Cheyenne either, I guess. But I knew that I wanted to get back into it, and I got onto Facebook. And Coop
Shoe?
Yeah, so he doesn't remember me. I know that, but I walked into his store. I was just walking around Bellevue.
Oh, in the Deets?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I walked in there. I was like, dude, I'm looking really to get into a band again, and like where are the places to play around here, or where can I find somebody? He's like, you should go on
Omaha Musicians.
yeah,
looking for
Omaha
other
Musicians page, and so I did, and I put out some obscure ad, and then he hit me up and was asking me like, "Are you in the military? Or what's your projection for deployment?" It was like a job interview for a
Right,
second,
right.
and then
Spanish Inquisition.
yeah, and he's like, "Send me some of your stuff." So I sent some older songs that have been sitting on the back burner for a minute, haven't touched them in a while, and I guess he dug it, and that was going to be for a different project that we were going to do, and
Now it's history.
yeah,
Not yet.
Not. Oh,
It's kind of tied up with the Keeper of the Morgue stuff because it's up to such a good start. But originally we were going to do a metalcore similar to like Killswitch Engage style project, but it's not dead yet. Just super busy writing for Keeper.
yeah. I mean, we're doing the EP right now, but we've already started, reloading, and I mean, we got easily 4 songs new that
nobody's ever
heard, and then I'm working on 2 more, and now he's working with Jordan at his house on another one too. So I think the goal right now is that we're going to try and do a full LP and then people won't expect it because when the EP finally does drop,
We're already
we're already halfway deep into our first album. So I mean, I'm almost excited to just get towards that stuff. No, I mean I love the EP. Like we've just been listening to it for so long now, and
Just sick of it.
Yeah.
Well, I love it, but I know what he's saying though. I want to move further because we both take lessons and we're trying to progress ourselves.
Oh, you guys do lessons too?
Yeah, with the same guy actually.
Zachary Adkins.
Oh, Zach Atkins.
Yeah.
I got a story about him. So, okay, I actually know that guy. And you wouldn't believe it because I don't play guitar. Now get this. So, Zach Atkins is from the Lincoln area. But he grew up in a town called Palmyra.
Yep, just southwest.
My
East.
first
next door neighbors.
My first roommate used to live with him, Zach Atkins. So when my friend Matt and I lived together, Zach would come over sometimes, but they had this like competition. They both dated the same girl, and they kind of just went separate ways.
Zach.
But yeah, when you said the name Zach Atkins, he's a beast.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Man,
it is sometimes it's overwhelming.
I don't know if he does it to you.
He does.
But at the end, he starts like, so do this and then he just he goes off, and it's just like, man.
Because the first part of the lesson is like, sprinkle some theory on it.
Yeah.
The second one is some application, and he gets you like applying it, and then at the very end, it's like showing you kind of like what the goal is working towards.
Realize
applying
full
it.
potential.
Sick. Yeah, and so but like that can be a little overwhelming at times because you're just like, dude.
Do you like that teaching style though?
I do.
The theory side of it, or
just in general, the way he just broke it down.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was almost entirely self-taught all the way up until him. I took lessons with another guy that was in the Air Force when I lived in Japan, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't very long. Zach is the first guy that ever like really sat down and just sat down and paid for lessons, go home and practice this stuff. And I mean, I feel like I'm way behind like the old version of me guitar wise. I wouldn't even recognize myself in terms of like playability anymore. Like I'm doing things now that,
and I think I do like that he goes off in the end to show you the end goal because it's super humbling. I used to be a pretty prideful guy, and then I started seeing people like Jordan and Jace play, and they're so busy on the grind, writing music, practicing stuff that they don't really put stuff out like that everyone sees. And when you finally get to see them in person play, you're just like, it's good because it puts you in your place. Keeps you humble.
I think it takes a certain age. You have to be at a certain age to recognize when somebody's not necessarily better than you, but like,
I think you're right about that.
It's like real. Yeah,
you're better, but you don't take it personal anymore.
Yeah, you get to the point where it's like real recognize real.
Yeah.
See, that used to be me. I know it sounds silly because it's not music, but like bowling. I used to think I was hot shit when I was like 16 or 17. I was ranked in the state like 10th in the whole entire state. I'm like,
pretty good,
dude. I'm pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
But then you see people from different states and you see people from different countries. Even you're like, not even close. Not even close.
My dad used to tell me, "There's always going to be somebody better than you."
Always.
Yeah. No matter what, even if you think you're there, like somebody else is going to come and just show you something new.
Yeah, another humbling experience is Jason Richardson, right?
Who doesn't?
So there's a little Japanese girl named Lisa X that was like 7 that can play his Polyphia solo, and that's just like a slap to the face.
Right.
It's like
how those little kids start so quick is beyond me, though.
Well, because like my one of my friends that he used to be the manager at Guitar Center in Lincoln, then he moved up to Sweetwater, Josie. He got started playing classical guitar at the age of 3, and so from 3 up till now, it's constantly been playing. So it's just it's unreal seeing that, and then hearing at the age they started with lessons, and it's just like kept with it all the way up till now. He's like late 20s,
just killing it.
Yeah.
So when you guys were growing up, so for example, like when I was growing up, I used to love drums, and it used to be that's how I kind of got into heavier stuff because I used to just be into like double kicks, right? So I'd look up stuff that played faster and faster and faster double kicks. So obviously, Avenged Sevenfold, the Rev.
Yeah.
You might not like the band. The Rev is a wonderful drummer.
I love the band.
I like Avenged Sevenfold.
Same.
I don't like the new stuff.
No.
I like.
Up until like self-titled.
Are we talking the one with the white?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up until
That
self-titled.
was, to me, that was like golden age of Insensible.
I think, was it a City of Evil?
That
that
one was
was-
self-titled, and the one before that was City of Evil. But it went from the Rev, and then it went to Devil Wears Prada, and that was Daniel Williams. That's his name. And then it went to like Here Comes the Crack, and that was the fastest thing I could find. Is The Legend of Ren is way hardcore. It's just like da 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 da. It's just so fast, and I guess that's how it like took off for me for hardcore music. It's just trying to find stuff that's faster and faster and faster, and the music got heavier and heavier and heavier.
Yeah.
That's how I got in.
Heck yeah. What do you listen to now as inspiration for your drumming?
Oh. Funny enough, I listen to a lot of old stuff. System of a Down.
That's always a good
It's
choice.
such a jam. I can jam System of a Down.
Wake up!
Shut up, guys. No, so I actually on my Spotify it showed me my like 2019 like most played songs. It would go like heavy. It'd be something heavy like Hollow Front, and then it'd be System of a Down, then it'd be Sigrid, which Sigrid's this chick from Norway who writes pop music. And then it'd be System of a Down, and then heavy, and then like soft, heavy soft. Or Earth, Wind, and Fire was even on there.
Oh, wow.
If you want to like build your chops for drumming, play some funk music.
I think I gotta learn drumming first.
Yeah.
I would never have the coordination to do it.
You say that, but you have four fingers going.
I know, but
That's only
something
that's only
about
2 limbs
something
versus
about
4.
moving this and rhythm is just not.
Yeah.
It doesn't click.
It's hard. Like double kicks. See, I have problems with double kicks. Granted, I've only been playing drums for like 7 months. It's not going to be learned overnight, and I don't have enough time to just like focus. So, learning double kicks for me is tough, but the hands no problem unless it's like a super quick fill.
Yeah.
Can't do it. That'd be like I'm trying to think of what the equivalent for you guys would be, like sweep picking. Can you sweep? Pretty
Ish.
good. Yeah.
Ish. It's you get the general concept, but it's not the prettiest thing all the time.
I cannot.
You can't sweep.
I cannot.
Yet.
What's the hardest thing to learn about? I guess guitar. I guess technique wise, not necessarily like music.
I think the concept might be pretty easy to grasp in terms of control for drumming. You know, you have dynamics, but I feel like when you're playing guitar, your right hand really does affect everything about how it sounds. So getting into more advanced techniques, I mean, you really have to have right hand controls. It's not really so much about this. They both have to be in sync, but when you're sweeping like this, like that meaty part of your hands, you really got to watch where that's at. And I think that is a very challenging aspect of it that people overlook sometimes.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, I was gonna say syncing the right hand to the left hand. I think is the hardest thing to get super clean.
Yeah, you don't get sweeps if you can't have those two moving exactly
Right.
together.
And it's just about with any technique on guitar. Obviously, some don't require as much synchronization, but the more advanced techniques, like it's just gotta be spot on, right and left hand.
Mm-hmm.
See, that'd be like for drumming. I don't know if it'd be the same parallel, but learning from going like from 4/4 to like 5/4 or 3/4, playing something that's not exactly just like do do gut, but playing something that actually takes some thought.
Yeah.
In like different places. Ugh, that stuff boggles my mind.
We try to do that with one of our songs, and I think it's...
Did it turn out bad?
No. For me, it's my favorite song on the EP, but Gage, our drummer, he'll tell you too, so I'm not really dogging on him, but he doesn't know the counting thing.
Gotcha.
And so I think I did a couple time signature changes in that song, which was a challenge. I just wanted to challenge myself to see if I could do it. I ended up coming out with something that I thought was pretty good, but I think
Which song?
Trader's News.
Oh yeah, song kind of sucks.
So my friend Jeff, who I live with, he always talks about like 7/8. So we'll just be like, yeah, counting 7/8. He'd be like 1 2, 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3, and it's just so funny to listen to that. But like I can hear it in guitar, but I cannot hear it for drums.
Yeah,
like, it's just it's tough to tough to like.
That's
visualize.
probably got to be pretty painful.
Yeah, And then, like, if you listen to August Burns Red divisions, that's in 15/16ths.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you think about 15/16ths?
But Matt Greiner and Adam Gray were a different breed of
Give me
drummers.
some. Give me some. Yeah, you don't know him.
I don't know either one of those names.
Oh!
Because I
You can sit out.
Is it a local thing or what?
No! No! These guys...
Hey.
yikes.
Yeah.
Well, let me give you a backstory. So, Matt Greiner plays for August Burns Red. Adam Gray played for Texas in July. But they both grew up in Pennsylvania in the same city. And now they're like best buds. Like, Adam Gray's pretty much his drum tech.
Well, I gotta give some credit because I know who both those bands are. So
But you don't know the
I don't know
drummers.
the namers. No.
But that'd be like you guys, like, listing off guitars. Unless
Well-
they're in a major band, I would have no idea.
I'm horrible on all fronts with that. Like I like,
The band as a
Dallas
whole.
Cowboys, but I couldn't tell you a single player outside of the quarterback and the running back. You know what I mean? Like I'm just not. I guess that in sync with.
I don't think they're the nation's team anymore.
No,
to be
they're
honest.
not. They're not.
Yeah, sports ball.
They're garbage. They're garbage.
Sports ball.
They make me sad when I watch them play. So
Good, because they just lost to the Bears.
I know.
Give me a guitarist, a notable guitarist. Actually, don't give me a notable one. Give me a guitarist, and I'll try to guess what band they're from.
Ian DeSaw,
No idea.
Billy Talent.
I wasn't gonna guess that.
That was my biggest influence as a kid. I think they're a Canadian punk rock band, but he would add a neoclassical twist to punk. So that's what drew me in, was learning the parts. It was so fun because it wasn't just like
Right.
It was just always playing in two voices because there's only one guitarist, and so they had a bassist, but he would really fill in the dead space between, because he would
Sick.
play one finger would be playing the bass line with the bassist, and the other fingers would be playing the melody.
See, there's a drummer in Omaha. The drummer for Downhearted. His name's Tyler Lewis.
Mm.
You ever heard of him?
I've heard of the band. I don't know everyone in Downhearted except for Ty Leslie.
Yep.
He's the vocalist.
Yep. So Tyler Lewis, if I remember right, he used to play for By the Thousands.
Mm.
He's a drummer.
I
But-
love that band.
What I love about his drumming, you were talking about it there. He fills it in, so it's not just your dun 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 dun, right?
Mhm.
He'll play some toms with his left hand, and it just makes it feel more whole.
It just makes it sound fat
Yeah,
instead of.
he's so good. I love watching him play, and it was on Ty's Snapchat the other day. They're just doing some improv, and Tyler's playing the drums. He's just casually blasting, just looking at the camera. But it just looks so effortless. He's just like, oh, me? Me? I'm just blasting away over here. I'd never seen him blast. That was crazy to see.
And so effortlessly too.
Is your drummer blast, Gage?
Oh, he loves blast. Sometimes we actually have to tell him, he's like,
Like, tone it down.
yeah, man, you got to cut it back a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, he is. Yeah, we got super lucky with him because we found him. I found him through a Craigslist ad, and I was like, I have no idea who this is. I looked up and it's like said he was a realtor and said he was it was in some tribute band. I was like, oh man,
How's
I
he
don't
gonna
know.
play in our band?
I was like, this might not be a good match. And then I took him to a Guitar Center, to the studios there, just for an audition, and freaking blew me away.
He's good.
I was like, here, what warm-up songs do you want? Because I was going to play some through the aux. He's like, play some Winds of Plague. And I was like, all right. And just watching him play, how like smooth his blast beats were, how
Yeah.
smooth the fills were. It was just effortless. And so I was like, oh man, we definitely got to get this guy in.
Yep.
Off of Craigslist ad.
Craigslist
You ever
ad.
think about, like, kind of your guys' situation the first time? Like, what happens if you wouldn't have said yes to something, or if you would have said no to something? So, for example, if you wouldn't have had that Facebook page to connect you two, and then let's say he never wanted to meet up or never wanted to play in your band, like, do you ever imagine where you'd be at?
I can kind of imagine it because he didn't start out as one of the original guitarists in the band.
Dun dun dun.
We actually had Tim Tilsty, was another guitarist in the
Mhm.
band when we first started out, and before him it was actually Fred and Eddie Dietz.
Yep, Eddie.
And
I seen him yesterday.
and Eddie from this day forward started doing so well, so Eddie kind of bowed out, but he had all this stuff written for Keeper, and it got to like I started learning, and I was like, man, I don't want to take this stuff because like this is all stuff he wrote.
Right.
Like, I feel like I'm just ripping him off, like trying to steal his stuff. So Fred and I started news, and that's where
He had some long songs too.
yeah, freaking heavy.
Eddie did?
Yeah.
Okay. He told me yesterday he has a whole deathcore album written.
He's got more than an album. There's like
Yeah.
17 and 20 songs.
Holy fuck.
He shared a couple of them with me and like just showed like from younger, or I guess younger earlier time, they had like long ass songs.
Yeah.
But it doesn't like
It never gets
does
stale.
I was getting that. Yep. I wasn't. It's good. It
changes it,
stays. It stays relevant throughout the entire thing. I like it. I think he should do something with it, but you know.
They are. Him and Fred have a side project that's not...
Breaking news?
It's not super breaking news because they don't have a lot of time to work on it yet, but it's called Webwalker. And so it's just a continuation of what him and Eddie started
Gotcha.
in Keeper. So he still has that outlet to write his deathcore stuff that he has written already.
Yep.
So what would you guys classify your guys' band as? Keeper?
I think the closest thing, 'cause I hate putting genres on it.
Same.
Normally I would just say
I hate genres.
we're metal, but for the people that like genres, I think the closest thing would be melodic deathcore. Because we have some techie parts, but not techie to be tech death, and we're not straight up death metal. It's definitely in the deathcore realm, but I feel like we do have a lot more melodies instead of just chugs.
Yeah, I can vouch for that.
I would probably say that too.
Yeah.
Because I don't like saying it either.
Because
I don't like being like we're a deathcore band, or because I feel like there's so much more to us than.
I'm not dogging on deathcore.
Yeah,
bands,
you know,
but it's like
it's all roots.
we were just trying to find that space between tech death and deathcore. Because man, you look at some of those tech death bands, like we're not there.
Yeah, we don't want to call ourselves that, but then we're also not, like like Abacab or something like that,
Abacab, that's a throwback.
Yeah, I mean, we're not like or like Black Tongue or anything like that,
So I'll give you a something Matt told me. So after I seen your guys' first set, I thought to myself, I'm like, that's probably like one of the tightest like first ever shows I've seen for a band.
Thanks.
And then I asked him like if he wanted to hang out one of the next days, and he goes, "Man, I didn't play my solo right the other day, and I got to go home and practice." And I was like, "Sounded good to me."
Well,
that sounds good.
happens.
Yeah,
that happens.
but that just goes to show like how, I guess, dedicated you are to actually sounding good. Whereas I'm not gonna say Omaha bands sound bad, but I think like that's the mentality you need to keep getting better.
Well, yeah, because especially with taking those lessons, it's like Zach. I like having Zach critique stuff that I write, especially the solos, because that's like our main emphasis on the writings. I used to just be a rhythm guitarist, just loved it, but I was like, I want to branch out and try to do some solos. So I like having him critique it, and I don't want it to sound subpar and make it look like all the time he's been dumping into me. And it's just like,
Right.
man, this guy isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Sort of deal. So it's like there is some motivation behind, canceling some events and just practicing.
Yeah.
If nothing else, to stay tight with the band as a whole, because we can only practice once a week, and even a lot of times we're not even do that one time a week.
I don't know how it is for a lot of bands here, but this is the first time for me. It's definitely got like a very business oriented feel. We all kind of trust each other to nail our stuff on our own time, and when we get together, I mean, you get what you get.
Yeah.
What you saw. So I mean, I'm pretty proud of that, honestly. I think that's kind of a cool attribute for us to have.
Yeah, because a lot of times it's just us sitting at home with the practice tracks to a metronome.
Yep.
Just hit it and just turn the song on repeat and just keep playing, and then go on to the next song.
Unlike most bands, you guys play with the metronome.
We tried without it, and it's not a pretty thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing with the metronome is so underrated. Like I said, when I first got my drum set, Jeff's like, you need to practice to a metronome, actually like play to it, try to play on top of it. Funk music, a little bit different. You can kind of play off the beat and still be like in the pocket, right?
Yeah.
With heavy stuff, if you're off, it just sounds like absolute shit.
Yeah.
You hit a China a little bit too late, and you're like, well, now I got to catch up. So you're late China, and then you're on time China, and then an early China just gets messy.
Metal's got to be like a machine.
Yeah.
And the boys from Yoga for Cats.
Mm-hmm.
Holy, have you seen them live yet?
Nope.
Don't know how Michael and Brandon pull that crap off, because...
Oh, Deanna, do we have any videos of them jamming afterwards?
A little bit.
They freaking... Okay, Psycho Cat. She just comes up and she's like... "Rah." Okay, so Brandon... Okay, so I FaceTimed Devin Price And I'm like, look what Brandon's about to play. And he goes, you ever heard Van Halen? What's that song? Eruption? You ever heard Eruption on a ukulele? Starts playing Eruption on a fucking ukulele. I've never seen that done on a ukulele. I've never seen it played live.
My dad would love that.
But he's just like,
he loves Van Halen.
he's just tapping on this fucking ukulele. And I'm like, this is insane.
And it was crazy too because the first time Brandon and I hung out, he's like, "Yeah, man, I don't know if I'm like up to your chops," and like I had to like really keep that pride down because like, oh man, this guy is just like boosting my ego right now. And he came over because he was looking at buying my Axe Effects too, and he was just like all over the fretboard, and it was like perfect. And I was like, good thing I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Damn.
I've only been playing guitar for about a year, so like, no big deal. No, I can't wait to see this guys live. I don't know if we discussed when their next show was. I'll tell you guys after. But speaking of next show, you guys are playing on Monday, aren't you?
Yes, sir. We are. Thank you to Austin Gall for having us part of the Third String Midwest Productions Monday bar takeover.
Yeah.
At the
At
Reverb
Reverb.
Lounge, and he's gonna be a live Q&A for Ink Placing Apparel.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna wrap up the night with some heaviness.
Some good old heaviness. What time do you guys actually play? Do you know?
I'm guessing 9,
Yeah,
but
seems like a reasonable time.
and we'll just throw out there it's a free event that Austin's just to give people something to do on the slow part of the week from Monday to Wednesday.
Yeah. And he talked about that when he was on, talking about the same exact thing. He goes, we always have events Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and people look forward to stuff on the week, and maybe some people don't have the weekends off, and then it also helps that the event's free. It's in a good area. I mean, Benson's kind of the shit. And is at the Reverb. I guess
It's a lot better than going home on a Monday and not doing anything.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
But I got goddamn bowling, so maybe I'll have to call off of bowling because I'd love to see you guys live again. And then, do you guys have plans for? You guys are playing Tale Untold January 11th.
Correct.
Yep.
Very happy that
yeah.
they asked us to be on that too, because that
Yep.
was From This Day Forward and Everbloom just stacked list us all of our friends all in one show.
That's gonna be sick. And that's at the waiting room, the pajama party.
Correct. Bring some pillows for the pillow pit.
Oh, the pillow pit.
Yeah.
If somebody gets knocked out in the pillow pit, they cannot go to any more shows.
That's only if you start swinging Tempur-Pedic pillows.
Oh,
Yeah.
They got some girth to them.
they got some specific pillows you need to bring.
No, bring the light ones.
Yeah.
Bring the light ones.
Ban Tempur-Pedic's not allowed in the pit, so like if you could bring some like goose down feather pillows.
I was gonna
like,
say I just see somebody getting hit with some down feather and just watching that explode up.
Daniel Tosh has a funny joke about goose down feather pillows, and he's like, he goes, "You ever had a goose down feather pillow?" He goes, "They fucking hurt. I went to go lay down the other night, and one of them stabbed me in the fucking eye. He's like, ha ha, I got you back, Daniel. Even when I'm dead, I got you." Daniel Tosh is so hilarious.
I love how he has no filter too. No filter to hold
Same with
back.
Anthony Jeselnik. If those two went on a tour together, people would explode.
Oh,
It's just so like Anthony Jeselnik is such like dry comedy, and Daniel Tosh is just all over the place. They're great.
he was almost like he picks out what triggers people,
Yeah,
and he was like,
I
Yeah.
like that.
"Yeah, that's
I
it.
like that.
Don't take yourself so seriously."
right.
Everybody stop taking themselves.
Well,
so
it's like if
seriously.
you go to a comedy show and you get mad about something, that's your problem.
Yeah, you're at the wrong place.
Right,
Definitely.
you're coming there to laugh, and you're gonna pick on something. Like I went to go see this guy Adam Ray back on Saturday. Never heard of the guy. Never heard of the guy. Why the fuck is he headlining Funny Bone? I died laughing.
I haven't been to a comedy show in a minute, man. I feel like that's something I need to do. soon.
Oh,
My biggest fear is just getting called out and then get made fun of. I'm like, oh shit, Tom Segura's freaking making fun of me.
That's who I wanted. I've been
You wanna
sitting
go
here
see
this
Tom
entire
Segura? Yeah.
time trying to think because you guys are talking about him. Tom Segura, man. You want to talk about getting offended?
Get this, my old roommate Jeff, who's the guy that from Stray Light. He used to run sound for I believe it was the Funny Bone, and Tom Segura came through, and Tom Segura, he was able to go back and just talk and hang out and drink beer with the
I
guy.
hear he
deal.
likes coming through.
Yeah, believe it or not, likes coming through Omaha.
what do you mean? Believe it or not?
I know a lot. I guess it's more bands maybe.
Okay,
Ever since we got in the Urban Dictionary,
who's we?
Omaha.
Oh, what was in the Urban Dictionary?
So if you get Omaha'd at a show, that's where the locals bring a lot of crowd in.
Oh,
and the crowd
and
comes
they
for the
take
locals,
off?
and as soon as the locals are done, the crowd's
How
out.
did I know that's what it was?
It's cool, but it sucks at the same
Yeah,
time.
that sucks. That looks so bad.
That happened with Scarlett O'Hara the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who was it? Everbloom? No, not Everbloom. Wither Decay played, and that's when Josh Bratton got proposed to by Alyssa, right?
Yeah.
And then right after that, Scarlett O'Hara played for like 25 people. And Scarlett O'Hara's like a notable band. Like, they've been around a long time. And then as soon as that happened, everybody just ditched.
Hard.
Yeah, Scarlett O'Hara got Omaha. It went from 85 people to like 25 people. But I two-stepped hard to Scarlett O'Hara. They got some good shit.
I'm glad some people stick around then.
Yeah. They fucking traveled here. Just watch them.
That's always heartbreaking. Like, yeah, you might get the door money for the gas, but it's like traveling just to play for such a small crowd.
Yeah, that'd be so depressing. Could you imagine if your guys' band went up to like Woolies in Des Moines? Granted, it's not a crazy far drive.
I think probably should we talk about it or
Nah, not yet.
yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
We'll talk about stuff
Yeah.
after the podcast.
Yeah.
But we're like 35 minutes in. You want to end it here, huh?
Yeah, whatever.
right, well-
Whatever tickles your fancy.
Well, this does tickle my fancy. Why don't you guys plug your band? Plug anything you want to plug. If you got merch out there, tell them where to find it.
We
It's all you,
have
man.
we have some T-shirts with the Skull Beast on our Dizzy Jams. You can find that on our band page. We do have some Skull Beast baseball tees and regular tees, unisex tees, in person. So if you need any of those, hit us up. We'll deliver it to you. And then the only last plug is this Monday playing at the Reverb Lounge for the Third String Midwest Productions Monday Bar Takeover at the Reverb. Free
Come
show.
check us out.
And check out Ink Poison Apparel.
Yes.
They got a lot of cool stuff.
Perfect.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
having
Austin
us, man.
Gall, for putting that on, and thanks for Keeper of the Morgue for coming on. Peace until the next episode. Goodbye.